My name is Lucien Campillo. I'm a U.S. Army veteran. I was an officer in the Army. I spent 23 years active duty. I retired in 2014. I was an infantryman my whole career. So, from private, actually was enlisted first. Went to officer candidate school, became an officer, and then served in most of the light infantry divisions and one mechanized division prior to retiring. Spent about 7 years on jump status, airborne status, as we call it. I am an officer in the Tampa Bay All Airborne chapter of the 82nd Airborne Division, and one of our members is also a member of Phantom Airborne, and he was talking to me about it. I was like, I don't know, man. It'd be fun again, but I'm not sure. I kind of want a certain way of jumping and want to remember it. Didn't know what to think about it, so I came here. My first jump was with the C-47. It was Sergeant Major Watts Memorial Jump, and it was just such a great experience. I met so many wonderful people, and we got to jump too, so I enjoyed it. So yeah, so that's how I got involved. And then was a jumper for a while, and saw some needs and thought I could help out, and just started volunteering a little bit more and more. And then soon I was jump mastering again. I was a jump master when I was on active duty, and kind of started volunteering to help on the operations side. I'm an operations guy by trade and a project manager by trade as a civilian. So just kind of lend some organization to the team, and moved in and became the operations officer, a member of our board, and then right now I'm the secretary. So I do a lot of the planning for the events. So make sure we have we've advertised the event on the marketing side, through our team, making sure that people are actually signing up for the events. We have the manifest built out, so we have experienced jumpers and a little bit more novice jumpers got to be part of it. So I'll do most of that kind of the planning and coordination, the operations part. I also work on the SOPs to make sure that we're doing things the way we're supposed to. They say we're going to. And then in the secretary role, I do more of the running the organization like a board. Like it's a nonprofit, has a board, has bylaws. We have do certain meetings and business meetings and stuff like that. We'll build a plan with all the inputs for everybody. That's the nice part about it. I mean, we're a nonprofit, and we have people that are smart, so we put it all together, and we figure out how we're going to do these things, how we're going to crack that nut, and I'll put those together as a plan, and then we'll kind of rehearse it, and then we'll go ahead and execute it. Sometimes I'll jump master, sometimes I'll be in the airplane, sometimes I'll run. It's like the smaller jumps, I'll help with the DACO, or I'll be, DZSO, or like I said, once again, in the plane. For some of the bigger jumps, like the water jumps, I've served as the airborne commander, so running the entire jump. Just kind of, I have experience with working with local governments through Army experience, so, making sure I'm dealing with the sheriffs, the EMS, the stuff like that on the ground. I mean, it's a lot of work, it's challenging, but I mean, it's not like I'm doing all the work. We're coordinating the people that are, volunteering their time and their efforts and their, passion for what we do. And then, talking to local government, making sure they're, collaborating with us because they're partners. They're, we're can't tell them what to do, not in the Army. So, they help us, they assist us, and, they help us all make this a better operation for everybody. Yeah, so when you think about local government, you think the actual city, the city's represented, and then you think about all the different portions of the city or the county, because the counties in Florida actually have all the power, right? So, the sheriff's department, EMS, if that belongs to the county or city, you'll have the fire guys. So, 3 or 4. When I talk about Phantom, I love the VFW, I love the Legion, I'm members of both, right? But it's a certain crowd. You'll see a whole bunch of veterans that are in that, I'm a victim, I'm feeling sorry for myself, I'm going to smoke cigarettes and drink beer and just watch myself die. That's not what I want to be a part of, and the people that are part of this organization are, we're alive. We want to see keep the colors bright and shiny, and that's what that jumping in the airplane is. The second part you have is the camaraderie of being around like-minded people that are not sitting there, smoking cigarettes and drinking beer waiting to die. It's just a great, part to keep yourself active. So that's cool. I kind of target and tell them what it is. Yeah. And these guys will tell you, I'm pretty frank with some people. If you're a fat ass, I'm going to say, dude, you need to lose some weight. I used to own a gym. I used to, like I said, being an infantryman, you got to keep things going. I hate to say, give our partner organization props, but RCPT says it's not just about the jump, and I really feel that. I agree with that for us too. I mean, I think the jump is fun, the jump's exciting, getting out of the aircraft is fun, but it's nice to kind of see the whole plan come together, to be a volunteer, to kind of see it all together, and then kind of see some of the special people, the Jeff Easts, the guys that have physical barriers that they overcome. and get out of the aircraft. And what you don't see is the people that, they're still dealing with some demons from being overseas or some traumatic experience they had, whether it's out of the Army or in. They kind of see them kind of go through it, and you see people blossom. It's kind of nice to see it, and even later in life. I'm in my 50s. I see guys that are in their 40s that, maybe kind of were living not a great life, and then this kind of really helps improve it. Helps them see some self-improvement, and it kind of affects other parts of their lives too, relationships, just work, just how you feel about yourself. So that's kind of what keeps me around. You see that one or two guys every once in a while just pop up, and it's exciting. I think it's just being around like-minded people, which is good. I think it's being active, which I've said a couple times, but I think that's good. But it's being someplace that's different, that reminded you of a good time in your life. Whether it was there was a traumatic event that might be associated too, but being around the guys in the barracks, when you're kind of off and hanging out, shooting pool or things like that. That's kind of what the fun things you remember in the Army, or the funny stories or the jokes or the stuff like that. I would say just come out. You don't have to jump. Just come out and just meet some guys. Meet some guys and gals. We do have some females too that jump with us. We have a mother-daughter team that's jumping in November. It's pretty cool.
Oh, cool.
But just come out and meet some people. And you'll see, if you jump, you don't jump, that's fine. But if you find you want to do it, then fine. But what you'll see is a lot of people will come to worry about that first jump. It's not just about getting hurt. My first jump, I was more worried about doing something stupid, which is funny. You're jumping out of an airplane, but you're really like, well, I don't want to trip out of the airplane or look like an ass, that kind of stuff. It's not like that. Nobody's here to judge you. It's, a bunch of guys and gals that, like experience, and it's kind of cool. And I think, whether you jump or not, just to meet the people and hang out, I think you'll find it worthwhile. So my good friend of mine, actually the president of the Tampa Bay Airborne chapter, he says something that kind of resonates very well with me, and I think it might be interesting for your video, is, we all served at different times in the military. We have Marines, we have Navy guys, all that stuff like that. But at one point, we kind of all shared that same sky. If you think about it, times, locations, whatever, you're in that air for a little while. And I think that always resonates me with, how important this is, how exciting it is. So for me, Phantom Airborne is an obsession. It's a passion. It's kind of what keeps me going sometimes. Even like I said, we're in our 50s, we're older. There's some things in life that just kind of grains on you, but it keeps the colors bright and shiny, and it kind of just being around us, it's just exciting.